Hi everyone, I'm Donna Lopez and this is ETS and this is your energy forecast for November 15th through the 30th. I looked down to look at my calendar on my phone. I'm working with a new microphone, so hopefully the sound will come through really clear because I know some of you like to drive and listen to me, so we're working on it, okay? All right. So I do want to talk a little bit about how this month has already been the last week or so. It's been very clustered, and it's like a lot of things have been squeezed into like an accordion, like a lot of things into one, like an accordion that goes out and in and out and in. This has been what I've been experiencing the last, I want to say, through this Veterans Weekend. Just lots of different things. But you know, when and if you've taken the time to create a good solid foundation for yourself, meaning knowing how to stay peaceful, knowing how to stay centered, knowing to stay in the rhythm and in the flow of health, vibrancy, love, it really serves. I've been working with 15 days of abundance for many participants. It's been from November the 1st to the 15th, and I'm just amazed at what's happening, how many people are receiving such downloads of the energy transmissions that I'm sending. It's really touching my heart. And you know, abundance without having it's a feeling. You know, it's an energy, it's a vibration that you're in. You're either in that stream of consciousness or you're not. But the way that they're receiving is just so beautiful. It's beyond what I feel that they may have. Like many of us, we hear abundance. Well, yeah, I want more money. Who doesn't, you know? But we also know a lot of people who have what we would think is everything, and yet there's this lack of flow. There's a block in their in abundant love and in healthy relationships and in their own bodily health, and their own abundant gratitude for getting to know themselves. There's, you know, the work you do with yourself will always show up in your life, what you have and what you have not done. And those are the pillars that I really feel, especially this last through Veterans Weekend, has been really core for many people, is being able to, and since the election, being able to stay centered. And I guess this, I think I want to use the word spirit, because spirit's coming in there saying equanimity, that we will reap what we sow, and but also being very conscious of what is it that I want to leave in this vibration, in this world. And you know, do I want to build it up, or do I want to water it down and try to manage and control, you know? And I'm not pitting sides on anything here, other than you just being self-responsible for your own choices, your words, and what you want to have come back to you. Be very mindful of that. But with that, let's get to the energy forecast. All right, so I'm going to start from the 13th, which is Tuesday, and we're going to go to Friday. All right, this Friday is the 16th. All right, so let's just see. Well, it's funny because I'm hearing brothers and sisters, and I'm hearing brothers and sisters unite. And I'm feeling like, wow, I'm really getting it strong. Brothers and sisters unite as a united front. So I do feel and sense a coming together of, I want to say, like our fellow man, our brothers and sisters, and what we are working towards, and a united front. Yeah. kind of I'm hearing an allegiance to ourselves. And as they're saying that, they're saying an allegiance to our true selves, the truth of who you are, your true selves. And so I see this real camaraderie and this support in that way. Let me see what else. I'm hearing something, but I'm not really getting how that goes. Yeah. I'm hearing the word happen now. So I'm trying to understand what are you saying here? Happen now. You know, I think that day to day we've been like, well, what happened now? What happened now? But this is more like more current, not like us projecting, well, what's happening now out in front of us, but something about, I feel like what we've been waiting for, many of us, in terms of some clarity, is going to happen now. So there's a real, and I feel like a solid foundation with that. So perhaps, you know, because I think even people who have been trying to stay very zen and been dealing with a lot of fires out here in California and the shooting, and there's just, you know how it is. There's many things that are coming up to be cleansed, and land goes with that. All right, an imbalance in the climate, or if it's arson, you know, we've got people that are touched off in a certain way. Not everybody can handle the intensities that are coming in and have not done the work, don't even know there's work to be done within yourselves in order to keep yourself chill, keep yourself on a good vibration. But I feel very strong with this happen now, that this energy of like what you have been knowing to be the truth, what your foundation and how you have been holding yourself in stature is happening now. You know, those that haven't been like, you know, blown with the wind, and every circumstance that comes up hasn't taken them down a toilet, you know, that they've been able to stay very, like, they're trusting source. And I do feel like you're going to see the results of that trust manifest. That's wonderful. I'm also hearing something about an emerald ring. This is really off, but whatever. I give you what I get. And I'm seeing kind of a big square emerald ring. And I don't know how that fits in, but, you know, I trust spirit. And something we'll hear about this like on Thursday. And I don't know what that's around, but I'm putting it out there. They don't always give me the details of everything, but I'm just hearing something about an emerald ring, and kind of a larger one, or something that has some sort of significance. All right. Let's see what else. Also, they're suggesting that you not get stuck on the principle of the thing. I'm hearing this as we come into Wednesday night, Thursday, of getting into, you know, it's the principle of the thing. Understanding that you have principles and somebody else has different principles. So when you're speaking about, well, it's just the principle of your thing, and we start harping on that, and it becomes a pattern. It's like a rudder that's stuck. You're just going to get yourself stuck. So they're saying don't do that. Just know that your principles are not somebody else's. So you can't beat those principles into someone else. And when we're talking, sometimes it's like we're talking to, what do they say? You know, don't become a clanging bell, just a sound, a noise. Be mindful to step back, sit down, get calm, breathe. And just know that this is another layer that you're recognizing. Because I want to say too that there has been a lot of shadow aspects still coming up to be cleared. And if you've done your work, the work is never done. Let me put it that way too. But if you've done your work, it's always interesting to see new layers of aspects that you thought, were pretty much resolved within yourself. And your shadow self is the aspect of yourself that looks back on places in your life where maybe you could have made a different choice, done something different, where self-forgiveness, healing, forgiveness with others, etc. And so when it comes up to show itself as you're maturing, it becomes more of an informed aspect of like, oh wow, that's something that still needs to heal in me. That's interesting. That's interesting. And you know that it's actually coming up to clear, and you tend to like not need to process it as much as just like, okay, that's a layer. All right. And that's what I see with that. All right. All right. Let's look at, we're going to look at the weekend of the 17th and 18th. It's funny, I'm just seeing somebody like do cartwheels across the stage, like making, it's almost like something looks so easy, just so I feel like this ease for that weekend, like just ease, like, oh, it's just so easy, like things will just flow, which is so nice. Because we have, like I said, been in this stop start kind of vibration, so we'll see more of a flow. I'm hearing about Sunday night. I don't know that we're in any sort of tornado type timing, but I'm hearing something about tornado. Tornado. So I'm hearing something about that. All right. Yeah, so I don't know how that will play out or where. I want to say like the Mid-East, but I don't know. That's my this is coming through my teachers, okay? So my left brain is going, wait a minute, I don't think tornadoes, no. That is a place where they would come from, though. Yeah. I don't always need to know the details, all right? But, yeah, okay, so they're saying the Mid-East, so we're going to hear something about tornadoes. I also see for some of you, I want to say come Saturday afternoon, Sunday, it's like I feel like if you have been shut in and not going out and not really... like you've just been in a bit of a cocoon, I feel like you are kind of opening up and like, okay, it's time to get out, let the sunshine come in, and I'm ready. Being in a cocoon is actually a beautiful place to be. It's nothing like being really quiet and with yourself and connecting. But then, I feel like the stage is being set for more light to come in. So if some of you have been in a contemplative space, I feel like you're going to be coming out and like, okay, I got it, and I'm have some epiphanies and I'm awakening. Yeah, I hear joyful. So that feels pretty good. All right. Now I'm going to look at the 19th to the 23rd. That's Monday to Friday. I'm seeing something about hopping around. Like going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. But I don't feel this as chaos. I just see information here, and then, okay, there's new information here, and then there's information here and information here. So I see a lot of that. New information coming in, but not floods all at once. Nothing to overwhelm you, but just a lot of like, oh, okay, I get it, okay, I get it, so just different information coming in for you. Resources, yeah, it feels very good. And I feel like, okay, I'm hearing something about wise men. They may be using the word wise men, so, because I am kind of hearing that wise men, and I don't know why, but wise men, I'm going to put that out there, however that can fit. Maybe it's something we're going to read. It's funny because there's very few periodicals out anymore that are in paper or print, but we may see that name. All right. I also feel midweek there that some of you are going to be feeling very playful, ready to have fun and relax. Yeah, let me look at that one more time too on my calendar here. All right, yeah. So we are at Thanksgiving. That's what I was checking. Everything's been a blur for me lately. I also see connections being made. This does not mean around Thanksgiving. I feel that there are some very solid business connections coming for some of you. Being introductions, collaborations is the word. Collaborations. And I feel very comfortable and very confident with this. If some of you have been waiting to collaborate with another, or you'd really like to work with someone, it's like equally yoked and meeting from a good vibration. So that feels very good. All right. I also feel that some of you, I want to say around Thanksgiving and right around that time, Thursday, maybe right into that, yeah, Thursday, Friday, right in there. It's as though those of you that have been trying to pretend to be something that you're not, perhaps walking in someone else's shoes. We can't be someone else. But when we admire someone, or we don't even know sometimes that we're doing that, like we do it with our parents, like, or a mentor, either we work hard to not be like them, or we work hard to be, if it's your parents, you work hard sometimes not to be like them. But it's as though I feel like some of you are going to realize that you have different characteristics, and that you have been just doing what you saw everybody else doing, but not really doing you. You have to, it's like I see like it's harder to be inauthentic than to just be myself. And I don't feel like there's any shame or pain in any of this, other than I've walked long enough in these shoes, and it's time for me to step out and be myself more. I feel like a confidence. And I feel like, too, that you're going to recognize your own importance in the scheme of things. I want to say, yeah. Okay, there's talking about sometimes, I know sometimes we want to do grand gestures, but in life, just like sometimes with problems that come, sometimes it's little things that affect us. But the same thing with kind gestures, or what we think we'd like to become or do in our lives. The little steps that we take are the ones that are the most important. They really set and create a foundation for the future selves, is what I'm hearing, future you. So I feel like we're going to be aligning with our higher selves much more fully, and attuning to our future selves. I've always, I'm going to save that because I might write about that one day. But yes, it's as though you are attuning to your future self and connecting with who you really are. It's almost like your future self is coming in to introduce itself to you and say, remember, we had this planned out, we're going to get this done. And I see you really fulfilling a it's fulfilling, and it's not, when I say a self-fulfilling prophecy, sometimes people would hear that when somebody's maybe going down a bad path. Well, that was just a self-fulfilling prophecy that it wasn't going to work out. But this I see as a self-fulfilling prophecy of your future self connecting with yourself in this dimension, and saying, this is the plan we made together. We made a pact, and your future self is coming in to really build you up and support you, and bring in. This is, so, you could think of this as your higher self, your spirit self, your soul's path that's already been, where you've already come in to fulfill this, and it's coming in to fulfill itself. It's helping you to fulfill it. So it's like a partnership in that way too, I suppose. Very interesting. Wow. All right. Okay, so let's look at, we're going to look at the 24th and the 25th, which is Thanksgiving weekend, at least here in the United States. All right, I I feel like the 24th, I feel like it's funny because I'm holding my crystals and I feel like I want to take this crystal and I want to put it in as I'm building okay, I'm starting to build a structure here. And I feel like this has to do with you um, attuning to your spirit self, to your spiritual understanding, your spiritual knowledge. Um, it's almost as if the reflective qualities that I'm seeing in this crystal, it's as if our energy is becoming empowered, but not to overpower anyone else, just the empowerment of ourselves based on the crystallization of the principles and ideals and the source that we connect with. It's almost like connecting into a power source, but it's a power source that you are in alignment with, that serves you, and what serves you serves others. And being a very strong reflective quality of that, and just by being that, it is harmonizing and assisting others in their growth as well. You know, like they say, water rises to its equal level. So we don't go out and try to change the world. You change yourself and the world changes with you. It changes around you. All right. It rises, you rise to its vibration as well. So just be conscious of what you are aligning with. As a side note, not as for this, because this I feel very strong with this. Like I feel like it's a being in love with the work that you have done on yourself and really feeling connected and harmonized to the spirit of truth and honoring that in others. Really powerful. Oh, I also see, it's funny, I have a picture here that's so beautiful of where the sun, it's a picture I took of the sun and where an actual being came down through the rays of the sun, and you can see it's really beautiful. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But what I'm seeing from that, they took me right to that picture, and they're showing something like the phoenix rising from the the phoenix rising. All right, it's like this awakening and this epiphany and just this flowering of who you are. So it's a very powerful time. I'm almost feeling and hearing like superhuman. And I want to say that there are qualities that we can build within ourselves, uh, feeling the energies that you can experience can be so heightened that you are vibrating so uh, there's such a strong vibration coming in you and through you that your world, you begin to see the world for the I want to say the particles in the wave and the formations, the creations that have been created throughout millennia. Um, and you can begin to see it as it's taking shape. You can feel it within your own physical body. Your physical body does not feel solid. It can feel very vibrational, or just like waves, or like you're so blended with your environment that there is no separation. You are so at one. There are times when we meditate where we feel like this, but this is a waking state experience, and I feel that there is a strong awakening. I know my own senses have been just off the charts, and I'm just happy I'm grounded as I am experiencing and seeing what I see. And just understand too that if you are somebody who has developed or who is developing your gifts, or just really, and your gifts will naturally happen as you learn to work on yourself and really just be in the space of love. That's the highest vibration there is. Nothing not too often, let me preface that. It's rare that anything will come in that is going to shock this container. As you develop and unfold, it's a very loving, gentle unfolding, and it's necessary because you have to be able to ground these energies, not just have them be helter-skelter and all over. I know some people want to do different, medicines to have different experiences, which you can, but um, having a cleaner, clearer connection that is led by your spirit and your soul, your body, your I want to say like a trinity, is much more powerful and is much more sustainable. It's not like something you're going to chase, because anything that you see alternate to this reality is just a bonus. It's being able to be housed in this vehicle and be peaceful. It is one of the biggest gifts you can unwrap. Oh, that was like a whole ministry there. But anyways, that's what we're coming up into. So let's get ready, all right? Let's look and see what else is going on here. We're going to look at the 26th to the 30th, which is Monday to Friday. For some of you, I see right away on Monday, I see like I'm laying down my sword. If there was a decision you were trying to make, or let's say not an altercation, but let's just say maybe a disagreement of some sort. I feel like you're just surrendering. Like, it doesn't really matter anymore. You're letting it go. I am sensing healing and health around this as well. That there is, this is about your own personal health as well. As you do that, it's like, it's so interesting because, sometimes when we're so busy, it's kind of like a tug of war. When somebody's pulling on one end and you're pulling on the other, if you don't pull on the other end, they fall and they get what they want, and you move on with what's more important to you. And that's as I see, as soon as you surrender, I see like 3 steps. So there's 3 steps you'll be taking. These can be in education, they can be in finances, they can be in achievement, they can be in elevation, they can be in just accelerated change. It could be job raise, etc. like that. Let me share this with you too, because very often I'll read for people and they feel very frustrated. Well, I can't find a job, etc. But what's happening is they're applying for something that is beneath what they are ready to step into. So if you're not getting something, it's because it's not, you need to step up. It's time to step up. We're here to continue to evolve and grow, not stay where we're at, all right? So I see this expansion. I feel very good about it too, because I feel like I feel like almost like a child, like you just let go because it just doesn't matter. Maybe you're not interested in whatever it was you were trying to engage in previously. And then it's like a kid that just, let's come on up these 3 steps. It's just very easy, very fun, very joyful. And, when we stay in that space of play and get out of linear, fixed ways, things, what's supposed to be this way, and I do this and I get that, etc. Just have fun. Let the universe do the heavy lifting for you. All right. Let me see what else is going out. It's funny because they're going, just have a ball. Yeah, I feel like that week is going to be a lot of just freedom and kind of letting go and breathing. I feel for a lot of us, it's going to be like, oh gosh, feels so good to just like feel like I can breathe. We may hear or see something. I'm hearing something about the United Nations too, closer to the end of that week. But we may hear something that is going to be like where we're able to decompress a bit instead of being too, every day something popping off. Um, anyway, all right, let's see. All right, so now let's look at the 13th through the 30th as a whole and see what's going on. Okay, I'm hearing take a chance. It can happen. They're saying share, and I'm also hearing shared. So I feel like if there's something you've shared, I feel like there will be it will be reciprocated. So if there's something you've shared, I feel like I see it like coming, like people wanting to be in your vibration, wanting to talk to you, etc. I also feel that this is a time of loving yourself, like also just like giving yourself some credit and self-recognition. Recognition from others is great, but when you really are happy that you feel that you've done this version of you well, it feels good. And there's nothing that anybody else can add to that when it's really coming from you. It's extra, but it's not as important as what you sense and get within yourself. Um, hmm. Yeah, I feel a lot of lightheartedness, a lot of opportunities, moving along on the path. Just very light. Things getting lighter, easier, faster. Faster, like less effort but faster results. Let's say. Um, hmm. For some of you who are developed, like you work, I feel like I feel like you're going to start hearing. You're going to start hearing spirit or getting information. So if your ear is ringing or I feel like they're really going to start to try to communicate with you a lot more. You'll start hearing them audibly, which is always wonderful. Okay, they're saying turn up the volume. So those of you that have been hiding, turn up the volume. And the volume's going to get turned up in a good way. While we've had a lot of the distress we've seen everywhere at the same time now, I feel like we're coming into a space of where the patience and the even calm energy it's like the vibrations that you have held for yourself and for others is now like, now the universe is going, okay, now it's your turn. Now we're going to turn you up even more because you stayed in that resonance. You stayed in that space of sacred space for others. Yeah, wonderful. All right, so I think that's good with that. I'm going to share that as a Thanksgiving gratitude. Every month, mid-month, I share an ETS session. And what I'm going to do is I have one called Rose Quartz, Self-Love and Compassion. And that will be up through to the 30th of November. And then it will go back in my store. So feel free to use it as often as you like, because I do know that many people are really needing the comfort and the love and the healing. And it's such a beautiful activation. And I really want to leave you with that love and that compassion and that self-care. And so with that, thank you so much. And please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to join my newsletter to find out when I do different things, just sign up on my website. It'll be listed down below my website. And I'll have the link for the free energy transmission, Rose Quartz transmission, down below. So with that, I want to say thank you so much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And let's continue to pray for our planet and trust the process. I want to say aho. Thank you. Namaste.